The World Cup kicked off today.
Right, wasn't it? Well, it did for Russia.
It certainly did. Russia taking on Saudi Arabia in the opening game, and a game that many thought would be nervy, maybe just the one goal in it. Well, boy, were they proved wrong. Russia completely destroying Saudi Arabia by 5-0. Denis Cheryshev being very much the star of the show, coming off the bench and getting a brace. 2 lovely goals as well. Why did this not turn out to be what we expected it to be?
What did we expect?
Tight, nervy, 1-0, 2-0, that sort of match.
There's a very easy answer to that, because Saudi Arabia were abysmal. Garbage. And the Russians actually played all right. But look, they scored some great goals. And it's, I think, the biggest goal-scoring start to an opening game, I think, in the history.
Stato.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. But the reason for that is Saudi Arabia. So you've got to temper how well Russia played with their opponents. That being said, the nerves for the home players in front of their home crowd, great start for them.
It was a great start. Some lovely goals, some good football in it all.
And they understood exactly how Saudi Arabia were going to play. Saudi Arabia wanted to play out from the back. They wanted to play to midfield. They didn't do it particularly well. Gazinski, who scored the first goal, kept on closing down, winning the ball back. It helped actually when the number 9, who was playing just in behind, went off. And then the Golovin went into a position in behind the main strikers. He added that bit of pace. I thought he was excellent. He had a magnificent game. Great cross for the 4th goal, the free kick as well. He looks to be a star.
We didn't see this coming. 7 games without a win leading to this tournament. They look dreadful. We're like, oh, these hosts could be joining South Africa as the only teams not to advance who are hosting the
Well,
World
I think
Cup.
some of that issue was, look at the teams that they played against in those 7 games. They were playing some of the favorites of the World Cup. When you're hosting the tournament, all the big teams want to come play you. And then they accommodated that. And then I think at times, too, when you don't have a competitive match for a long stretch, you get into that cycle of just, well, we're looking at these guys and we're doing this, and there's just not that edge. So I think the Russian team is...
A lot of injuries as well.
They did have that. When they had to bring Ignashevich back out of retirement from the national team because they had so many injuries in the back, they needed something. But at the same time, I don't think they were as bad as everybody thought they were, or that their ranking is. Look, are they going to win this tournament? No. But they're going to get out of their group and see what happens from there.
But they're not as good as beating 5-0 Saudi Arabia. I mean, look, I understand that they look good today, but I'm not having any of that of Golovin is now somehow going to become a star of this tournament, or Cheryshev is going to be excellent. Russia, there's a reason as to why we were considering them being in trouble in this group. And that is because they're limited. It's a team that has their limitations. In the attack, they're limited. Defensively, they have problems. Akinfeev is the sort of goalkeeper that can make mistakes as well. They're not going to be tested by Saudi Arabia, and of course they were not. And they got off to an early start with the early goal, and that allowed some of that confidence to come in, and Saudi Arabia just simply had nothing in terms of a response. But Russia's not going to go much further than getting out of the group, if they get out of the group.
Well, their big battle is Egypt.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Uruguay should walk the group, should. The big battle for Russia is Egypt. And I don't think that's going to be as simplistic as some might think after today's performance, because this is Saudi Arabia. But am I not right in saying, we just talk about like what friendlies are all about? Did Saudi Arabia not put up a decent fight?
2-1 against Germany.
Well, that tells you how we shouldn't really judge teams in friendlies, because they shouldn't have even put up a fight against Germany in a friendly, which basically tells you Germany couldn't have cared less, right? And we're only thinking about the World Cup, because they could have smashed them by probably 10 goals looking at them today. So, great start from Russia, but I do think people are writing Egypt off. I know there's a whole Mo Salah thing. Is he going to play? Is he not? I think he will. They're much better, I think, than Saudi Arabia.
Russia will have a bigger problem against Egypt, because Russia today played on the counter-attack. They kept on winning the ball back in midfield areas and then tried to play from there. Against Egypt, who defend quite deeply, they've got 2 big centre-halves that soak up pressure, and then they try and play on the counter-attack. If Russia have got the ball, I'm not sure they've got the creativity to open them up. That's when they've got the problem. The 2 midfield players that I talked about playing really well in those central areas, they're not particularly good on the ball. They're good at winning it back, good at closing down. But if they have possession, have they got the ability to find a pass and get it into Golovin?
Yeah, there's no question that Saudi Arabia played right into the hands of Russia and the way Russia wanted to play, and just be. I mean, when Saudi Arabia had was like 10-15% more possession, it was because Russia didn't care. Yeah. Fine, take the ball, give it, and then we're going to go hit you as quick as we can. And if we lose it, no big deal, because we're going to win it straight back.